Okie dokie, so first thing I'm going to go through is the dairy alternative type products that we have. We have 2 cartons of soya milk and 2 cartons of almond milk. We normally get UHT, but these are on sale for £1 a carton, and we normally buy the branded stuff only when it's on sale. So that's why we have the fridge stuff, and we're just going to have to try and squeeze it in, and then that should last us 2 weeks for sort of cereal and drinks and whatnot. And we still have half a carton of almond milk at the moment. We've got this Tesco Free From Milk original soya alternative to soft cheese. It's really, really nice. It tastes pretty much exactly like cream cheese, like the plain cream cheese. And I think this is about £2, £2.50. It's another one of the sort of more expensive substitute foods, but you don't have to eat substitute foods. You can just eat vegan foods that aren't substitutes, like lentils and soya, mince. I guess that one's kind of a substitute, but it's cheap like lentils. So, okay, then we've also got these Alpro dessert moments. These are £1. They're normally £2. I wouldn't pay £2 for them, but they are very, very yummy. They're a little bit less sweet than a traditional chocolate dessert, but really tasty nonetheless. And these ones are hazelnut chocolate. Behind them, we've got the Just Rolls. There are cinnamon swirls and pan au chocolates. You bake these in your oven at home, and they are really, really tasty. And we have them as sort of a treat for breakfast. They were on 2 for £3, so another offer. To my best understanding, these are suitable for vegans. They are just made in a factory that handles milk. And they're not a dairy alternative, but the only other sort of fridge type product we've got is this garlic baguette. And this actually says suitable for vegans on the packet. If you look just here, there we go, got it to focus. Yeah, so this actually says it's suitable for vegans on the packet, and it's really yummy. I don't really taste the difference between this and more expensive garlic bread. And you just put it in the oven for like 15 minutes and you've got fresh garlic bread. So it's pretty cool. Fruit and veggies wise, we've got 5 oranges. We've got some baby plum tomatoes. We've got this onion. We've got 2 little gem lettuces. We've got a cucumber, and then there's also some tomato puree here. We have a lot of veg sort of frozen. We currently have, I think, a few apples left, maybe 1 or 2. And we've got some dried fruits and dried tomatoes as well. We don't buy an awful lot of fresh in our online orders because it gets squished a lot of the time. But both the lettuce and the tomatoes were on offer for 50p a pack, which is quite cheap for sort of 2 lettuces and baby plum tomatoes. So, yeah. Moving on, we have this whole wheat breakfast cereal. This is just the sort of basics value one. It says on their own vegan list on the website for Tesco's, which is where all of this came from, that these are suitable for vegans, and they're basically just cheap Weetabix. So, yeah. And we've also got some wholemeal sliced bread. Again, it's the cheap one. I think the cereal was about 50 or 60p, and this bread was about 40p. Don't be scared to try like the value versions. A lot of the time they have less ingredients, so they're more likely to be vegan. And a lot of the time you really can't taste any difference between these products and the more expensive products. So like the pound bread tastes exactly the same as the cheap bread. And also, if you're trying to be healthier, a lot of the time the slices of the cheap bread are a bit thinner, so they're a bit lower calorie, which I don't. Okay, so cupboard stuff now. We have this jar of sweet and sour sauce. This was 30p. It is suitable for vegans. And we have this bottle of ketchup. This was about 40 or 50p. And that's for me. And the sweet and sour sauce is for my fiance. He likes sweet and sour. I can't stand it. So we thought we'd buy sort of a cheap jar of it so that he could have some. But it wouldn't be like a waste of money for a meal that we both couldn't have. Then we've got 4 of these like little packs of tomato passata. We use these to make pasta sauce. We can use them to make soup. You can use them to make chili. All sorts of different stuff. You could probably make like a barbecue-y pizza sauce or a regular pizza sauce. Or they're really, really great. And if you buy jars of pasta sauce, I'm going to say right now, just stop buying it. It's so expensive and it's such a waste of money. We buy the tomato passata and we buy the chopped tomatoes. There are 5 tins of these. And we add them together. We add some Italian herbs. We can add some garlic, some onions. And then we add like soy mince or lentils. And you've got like a really yummy spaghetti bolognese sauce. And like this plus like one of these plus like soy mince and all that stuff makes about enough for 4 servings. So it's a lot cheaper than jar sauce in the long run because this is like 30p and this is like 30p. And then you don't use a lot of the soy mince, the one we buy, which I'm going to show you in a minute, because it's dried. So it like puffs up and you like add water to it. And so it's quite cheap and then it goes a really long way. Okay. Then we've got a tin of beans, a tin of sliced mushrooms, and a tin of plum tomatoes. The beans and the tomatoes are for making like hot breakfasts. And then the mushrooms are just because we always tend to run out of mushrooms. And so I thought I'd get a can to have in the cupboard because we eat so many mushrooms and they just disappear when we have them. Then we've got 2 cans of potatoes. These are really good for soups because you don't have to pre-cook them. We usually just drain them out, slice them up and add them to a soup. But also you can like just boil them in a pan and you can have them as a really easy like carbohydrate, like starch to have with your meal. And it's just a lot sort of quicker than peeling potatoes or even just boiling fresh unpeeled potatoes. Behind that, we've got sliced carrots. Again, it's a similar thing. We like to add these to our spaghetti sauce and to chilies and stuff like that. And we find it's easier to slice up the already sort of soaked, squishy ones from a tin. We find that you can't really notice them in the finished pasta sauce. But you get extra veggies, and we're not a big fan of veggies in pasta sauce except for like mushrooms. So that's what we get those for. Again, you can just eat them with a meal as your veggie if you're being like lazy or you've had a long day because they take about 2-3 minutes in the microwave. Okay, behind that we've got 2 cans of corn. That's just to eat with foods, to add to chili, to put in burritos. Maybe make some vegan mac and cheese and add some corn to it. Next to that, there are some kidney beans. These go in chilies and they can also go in pasta sauce. And they're really good for you and they're really, really cheap. I think these are 40p a tin. So really cheap for like a good like protein source. I think kidney beans have iron in them. I know lots of legumes do. I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't say anything about it on the tin, but yeah. And then we've got peanut butter. I don't like peanut butter, but my fiance does, and he eats that. I do use it in baking sometimes as well. This jar is 60p, and I don't eat it, but he says that it tastes just the same as any other, so that's pretty cool. Then we've got this soy mince. Now, we haven't bought this brand before, the Tesco's own brand one. We normally buy the Foodco soy mince from Morrison's or Sainsbury's, but it looks identical to that. And I think this was £2 at the most, and it's like 375 grams. It's like 50 grams of protein or something ridiculous like that per 100 grams, like dried. And then, yeah, it's really good and it's really yummy and it's really cheap. You can use it for chili, you can use it for bolognese. We sometimes make shepherd's pie. It's just really good. Then we've got some lentils. These are red split lentils. These were £1.15 for 500 grams, which is really good considering the ones in Holland and Barrett are about £2.50 for the same amount. So, yeah, they're going to go in soups, in spaghetti sauces, in shepherd's pies, that sort of thing. And then last cupboard thing, oh wait, one before last cupboard thing, we've got these pasta packs because my fiance is a terrible cook and he will eat these when he wants like a hot lunch and he doesn't want to have to cook something. These are vegan. I'm not sure if it says vegan on the pack or not. No, but these are definitely vegan. I think they're actually listed on the vegan list on the website and everything. And yeah, they're 20p a packet. They make enough for about 2 people if you're having like a light meal and like enough for one person if you're really, really hungry. But don't make them in the microwave. It says to make them in the microwave. Don't make them in the microwave. They work best if you make them on the hob. But they're really nice. And then we've got 2 bottles of Everyday Value squash. I think these are about 60p, but I'm not 100% sure. And we just drink squash because I'm not a big water drinker. I don't really enjoy drinking just water on its own unless I'm really thirsty. So I buy squash and it encourages me to drink more water. Okay, and then on to freezer stuff now. This is probably our like expensive splurgy freezer purchase. We got some Linda McCartney sausages because we have some potatoes left. And we also have some instant mash, and I wanted to do some sausage and mash at some point with some gravy. And these were £2 for the packet. I'm going to move the lentils out the way. We've then got these vegetable grills. These even say vegan on the pack. They're really nice. They're a little bit oniony. If you don't like onions, you won't like these, I don't think, because they smell very oniony and they've got an oniony taste, but they are really yummy. They're just a bit like a veggie burger, but without the breadcrumbs. And yeah, they are just really nice, and they're £1 a box. We've got these next, which we've actually not tried. They're spinach and chickpea falafels. These say vegan on the pack as well. I'm not big on falafels, but we are going to make some vegan kebabs this week using some falafels. So these were £1 as well. They do make a few other vegan things, but they were like £2 a pack or more, and I didn't really want to splurge on something I hadn't tried before. Okay, and then frozen veggies. We have got some sliced mushrooms, some sliced green beans, some broccoli and some cauliflower, and then we've got some oven chips, which aren't frozen vegetables, really, even though potato is a vegetable. These are because we bought some gluten and we're going to make some seitan steaks. We bought the gluten a while back and we've just been waiting to get some chips and some mushrooms so we can make sort of a steakhouse style meal. All these bags of veggies were like £1, £1.20-ish. They weren't very expensive at all. And as there's 2 of us, these last a really long time. So yeah, that is all the food we bought. And it cost us about 37-ish pounds. Like I said, there were a few things that we ordered that didn't show up, including the new corn vegan fish fingers. I'm really quite sad about that one, but it could be worth. Yeah. Okie dokie. I will hopefully put up another video again soon. I hope you enjoyed this cheap vegan food haul. I will put down in the sort of description a list of everything that we got with this food shop and all the prices. So if I didn't mention a price correctly, you can go and read it. And I will also put a list of all the meals we have planned for the next 2 weeks. Although some of them will include ingredients we already have in the house. Okie dokie, thanks for watching. Bye bye.